Welcome to the Rolling Forward podcast. I have Kendra Herber here with me today. Kendra, the starting question, you've done everything from teaching high school to modeling to becoming one of the best pair standing athletes in the world, um, all while balancing a family with kids. What's one piece of advice that you would give that helps you manage it all?
That's tough. My life is insane. Um,
Yeah.
but I would just say maybe like finding the balance
Mm,
and keeping the perspective. Sometimes people like me, we're just all in for everything
yeah.
and it can be consuming.
Hmm.
So I just, especially for my kids and my husband, am I giving 100% to them still?
Yeah.
And if I'm not, then something else needs to back off.
Right. Right.
And it's the same thing with every other passion that I
Mm,
have.
mhm. Yeah, it's interesting. All my friends and family now, they're like, "Man, you're so busy. Like, I don't know how you do it all." I have a podcast, a day job, and I do tennis, and that keeps me busy enough. So, you live a crazy life. Well, I guess one of the other questions with the craziness that you have is, as I'm doing this, I find myself like going beyond my limit to where like I just need to take a break. And sometimes I go too far past that limit, if you will, you know. I'm sure that happens to you, and how do you respond to those?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to take a break.
Yeah.
I really should. Um, I have my husband that keeps me in check, if I'm
That's
being
awesome.
honest.
Yeah.
With triathlon, that was very consuming,
Mm.
and I was training 3.5 days or 3.5 hours a day, 6 days a week,
Wow.
while still teaching full time and
Wow.
having my kids. And there'd be times when he was like, "It's not happening today." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right," and he
Right.
was always right.
Yeah.
But I almost need someone to throttle me back.
Yeah, interesting. And he is your throttler, if you will?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
interesting. I like that. It's kind of like a yin and yang in a relationship, right?
totally. But I mean, he still lets me dream big and he
Yeah,
he wants me to accomplish all my lofty dreams, but he
yeah.
just needs me to find that balance.
Are you type A personality?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
can
yeah.
you tell?
Yeah. Matt Dectus and I think are both type B,
Yeah.
for the most part. So, okay. Well, everyone, welcome to the Rolling Forward podcast. It's a podcast of people who keep rolling forward no matter what life throws at them. Real stories, real people, powered by purpose, resilience, and a drive that never ends. I'm Zach Sikora. Spina bifida didn't stop me, just gave me a better excuse to sit down while I take over the world. Today's funny shirt is leg day. It's a gym reference. Funny thing is, I wear a funny T-shirt every podcast that is disability oriented. I also have a store if anybody wants to go to it. rollingforward.printful.me. I didn't get the shirt on that store, but you can find all my shirts at rollingforward.printful.me. But one thing that is kind of funny is I showed my parents this shirt and they didn't get the reference. And I was like, yeah, it's like when you go to the gym and like they're like, oh, that must be an obscure reference. It's like,
No,
no, it's
no, a
not.
lot of people know that.
Not at all. Okay, well, let's roll into today's episode with Kendra Herber. Okay, so we kind of got a little taste of who you are, but if for those who don't know you, give us a 10,000 foot overview of who you are.
I think the biggest thing to mention is that I was born different. I was born with fibular hemimelia, and at the age of 2, the doctors and my parents decided to amputate my right foot,
Mm,
and that sent me on a trajectory of craziness. But for the most part, it was, I don't know, it was challenging, both physically, emotionally, all the
mm,
things. Middle school was tough, just with like my confidence and
mm,
bullying and stuff like that.
mm.
But then I also had to deal with like my prosthesis not fitting well and
Uh,
having to go 3 hours to the hospital all the time, especially like when I was growing a lot, I had to get them replaced often. And that was just time consuming.
mm,
But yeah, I play sports and I mainly did that to feel normal.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends were doing that, and it made me feel less different.
Did you play able-bodied sports?
Oh, yeah.
Starting at 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I never really did para sports until I was like 35 years old.
Wow.
Really, I didn't know it was
Interesting.
a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, I don't know, my parents just didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah. Huh.
So they didn't sign me up. And maybe it's just the fact that I lived in Dayton. Like we just didn't have a great hub for it.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, that's interesting because, well, at least in the wheelchair sports world, I went to college at Wright State, and there was a wheelchair basketball and maybe some other things. I don't remember, but do you know James Turpinning?
No.
He's in a wheelchair. He's I think quite a bit older than us. Not sorry, James, not quite a bit older, but yeah. So anyway, it's kind of died down. I think since I've left, but they do some wheelchair sport, at least wheelchair
Hmm.
sports, and parastanding sports seems fairly new. At least
Yeah,
parastanding tennis, right?
definitely.
Yeah.
We're still trying to get the sport legitimized and just grow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So man, I wanna ask other questions about the pair standing and sports, but we'll get into that in a later segment. So, can you explain how we know each other?
Yeah, so I met you at a CTF event,
Mm.
and my coach, Matt Dectus, kind of introduced us.
Yep.
And then from there, I love playing tennis. So I was like, hey,
Yeah.
let's play tennis together.
Yeah.
So you and I have kind of just played for fun
Yep.
here and there. And we
You kicked my
also.
bum. But yeah, so we're connected through Cincinnati Tennis Foundation. Matt Dectus being the head of that, and you've become. We also I think another cool thing that we've done is our first parastanding and wheelchair tennis tournament here in Cincinnati. We've been doing the wheelchair tournament for a while, but introduced parastanding for the first time, and you were a huge promoter of that, getting a lot of people from. Well, I don't know. You probably know the countries better than me, but one from Chile,
Germany.
Germany,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was pretty cool to see. So, okay. Another question: if we weren't here in the studio right now, where would you be?
Probably just at home with my daughters and my husband.
Yeah.
So I have a 12-year-old daughter named Brielle and
Mm,
an 8-year-old daughter named Eliza.
mm,
And my husband and I have been married for almost 20 years.
nice. Okay. How'd you guys meet?
My husband and I met at the University of Toledo. We
Okay.
were both studying education.
Okay.
So he's a teacher at Fenwick High
Okay.
School, a little north of here.
Mhm.
And he's been at the same school the whole time. He
Oh.
coaches volleyball, so we're both big sports lovers. Um, he plays things leisurely. He's just a good athlete. He can
Yeah.
pick up anything. So now I'm like, hey, let's go play tennis.
Yeah. That's awesome. And he's decent at tennis too, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I think I've seen him play. I don't remember. I've definitely seen you guys play pickleball and all that. But
Yeah.
okay. So another kind of fun question: what's one of the most chaotic moments you've had this year balancing everything you balance?
Oh my gosh. Really my daughters are big into sports too. So they both play club volleyball
Mm.
and they both are on a traveling softball team.
Oh wow.
So this fall, while my husband was coaching varsity volleyball,
Mm.
and yeah, they were well into the tournament. They were, what was it, regional semifinals is where they went.
Okay.
So I coached three of their sports. I
Wow.
was coaching my daughter's softball team, the other daughter's softball team, and the other school volleyball team.
Holy
All in
moly.
one, still training for tennis, 3 or 4 times a week, and then working full time, just
Wow.
running literally everywhere.
Do you teach during the summer?
No, thank
Okay.
goodness.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I was like, what the heck? That's a life. How do you? How many times a week do you play tennis?
Probably four,
And how long?
about an hour and a half to 2 hours
Yeah.
each time.
Okay. And is it always with Matt or is it?
No, I play with him like I play with juniors.
Mhm.
They're really good and they often kick
Oh,
my butt.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
But it's great competition. It makes me better. So
Yeah,
I play with them probably 2 or 3 times a week. Matt and I typically have a lesson a
yeah,
week, private lesson. And
okay,
then I play with a couple people, just women that I've met
yeah,
at a club. And also one of my coworkers. He used to
okay.
play in college and he's really good.
Wow, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, well, we'll get into more of your life. I wanna get into the theme podcast question. What keeps you rolling forward?
I would say just knowing my purpose.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when I stopped with triathlon, I my biggest fear was I wouldn't have that purpose anymore
Mm,
because I feel like a really big calling to bring other people to para sports.
mm,
And not only that, but like that's why I model too, is just to gain representation for the disabled community. Um, it's why I am a sensitivity reader.
mm,
So, like, basically, authors come to me, and if they have an amputee character in their book, they want to make sure that they're doing that correctly and sensitively. And so I do that. And, like, I just want to make sure the representation that's out there is real,
yeah,
is, um, I don't know, it's positive.
yeah, yeah.
So I think growing up, I didn't know one single disabled person.
Wow.
And that was isolating. It
Yeah,
was really tough.
yeah.
And the books that I read, they didn't have characters like me. And magazines that I looked at, they didn't have pictures of people like me.
Uh, yeah,
So I want to make sure that doesn't happen. That's
right.
not okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I'm a huge advocate of wheelchair sports. I got into it at 10, racing and then tennis at 12. Adaptive. When I say wheelchair, I mean adaptive sports. Just for anybody that, yeah. Anyway, but I'm a huge advocate of adaptive sports in general, right? And there's so many people that I've had on my podcast, Jake and Mozzie being one of them, that didn't find wheelchair sports, that got injured early in life and didn't find wheelchair sports for years and years after. And yeah, like that's one of the reasons why I've started this podcast, is to spread that awareness and to see if we can get people into those sports as fast as humanly possible, because it's
Yeah.
so valuable. And being in that, like, to talk to me about, like, I guess being 35 and being in that space now. What's it like being in, like, a community that, like, let's say, understands you a little bit more and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, it's liberating and I think it also just makes me feel seen.
Mm,
Um, actually, my first exposure was when I went to a triathlon camp,
mm.
and there were people like me, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
It was so exciting, and we're all taking our legs off and dumping out the sweat, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't different for people. Like they totally get me."
Yeah, yeah, taking off the legs and dumping out the sweat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's, I gotta show you a picture after the podcast, but it was at a wheelchair tennis camp where someone basically they must have had shorts under their pants, and they took off both of their legs, kept their pants on the legs, and then threw it against the wall,
it's
and it looks
great.
like this body that's, like, sticking out of the wall with just the legs, but anyway. Okay, cool. Real quick, you said you had fibular hemimelia? Is that
Hemimelia.
hemimelia?
Yeah, that's a
Can
tough one.
can you tell everybody what that is?
Yeah, so it's typically when people are born without their fibula.
Mhm.
So I do not have my fibula bone. I don't have an ACL.
Mm.
I don't have a lot of the tendons that connected my foot to my leg.
Is that in just your amputated leg, or
Yes.
is it both?
Yes.
Okay.
My left side, my sound side, was completely normal other than I had a dislocated hip on
Oh,
that side.
okay, interesting.
Yeah. So I was missing 3, or actually I was missing 2 toes. I was born with 3. My foot was crooked. My right leg was like an inch and a half shorter,
Yeah,
which is kind of all messed up.
yeah. Yeah, I actually had to Google that. I did not know what that was when you texted that to me, so I
Yeah,
was
it's a
like,
mouthful.
"Mm, yeah, 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 it is." Okay, so back to what keeps you rolling forward. What's a tool or skill that you have that has helped you keep rolling forward?
Tenacity.
Tenacity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my husband tells me and other people all the time, like, I am the most driven person he's ever met.
Wow.
And that is a curse and a gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, sometimes I just can't turn it off.
Yeah.
But other times I needed that. Like, even as a kid, to get me past all the harsh comments or
Uh,
to make it past days when it hurt to even walk.
mm,
And other times when I'm competing in a elite race and I don't feel like I can go one step further, I I know now that I can do it.
yeah.
My past has told me that, like, in a lot of ways, my disability is a gift
Yeah.
because I don't feel like I would have this trait
Mm,
if I wasn't born this way.
yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I want to foster like independence within the adaptive sports community, and like some people don't necessarily want to be as independent, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, Mom, thank you so much for teaching me independence. And she goes, Zach, I don't know that that was us.
Yeah.
So like that tenacity that you have, it's like it seems. Do you think it mostly comes from within, or did?
Yes, but it was also like fostered from my parents. Like they made sure that I felt special.
Mhm.
Like whenever I went to my leg appointments, they would make it like a vacation.
Oh.
And they always made sure that I was able to do whatever everyone else was doing. Sometimes I had to do it differently,
Mhm.
but even like when I was younger and riding this big wheel bike, like the one with the one wheel in the front and the two wheels in the back.
Yeah.
Well, my foot, because the pedals are so far forward, it would just keep sliding off the pedal. I'm like,
Uh,
I can't do this bike.
uh-huh.
And my dad's like, wait 1 second. He goes in the garage and he fabricates this, I don't even, contraption and he puts it on the pedal and he's like, you're good to go. And I was like, all right. So it was like that ingenuity and like just not giving up
Yeah.
to where I just didn't have any excuse. So like, okay, we'll find a different way to do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's story of my life as well. Do me a favor, just a little bit closer. There we go.
Mhm.
That's good. Yeah, perfect. What's something you did physically or mentally that you never wait, hold on. That's not the next question. What's the hardest challenge you've put yourself through in the last 5 years?
Hmm. I would say triathlon.
Yeah.
Um, my goal was to make it to the Paralympics, and I didn't make it,
Yeah.
but I made the alternate. And just like racing in general will take you past where you think you can go.
Mm.
And I don't know. There was one time in France, I was going up this hellaciously high hill. And I was like, I don't even think my bike can do this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I can make this keep going. I was like, maybe I'll go backwards because like I'm going so slowly up this hill.
Yeah.
And there were just like some quotes going through my head, like, you can't quit now
Mm.
because the race isn't done. You quit when it's over, not when it gets hard. And I just, I didn't know that I had that in me, I guess, that I was as much of a fighter as I am, but I'm really stubborn.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of makes sense.
Do you have any what are some of your favorite quotes?
Hmm. I don't know. You're going to put me on the spot.
I am, yeah. Well, you mentioned quotes, so I was like,
Yeah.
maybe she has a few. If
I
you
don't
don't have
know.
any, that's fine.
I just think sometimes, like, you know what I do? I'm really spiritual. I pray
Oh,
a
okay.
lot.
Yeah.
And like, I just know what my capabilities are and what they're not.
Yeah, sure.
And when I'm feeling very much outside of what I can do,
Mhm.
that's when the praying starts.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, God, I can't do this, but you're gonna have to take over now.
Yeah,
It's
right.
on you.
Right, yeah. So I've lost 60 pounds since the beginning of the year, and one of the things that there's actually been one of the biggest things that's helped me through that is, um, telling myself, "This is gonna be hard, but you can do it."
Mhm.
And that's like positive self-talk of like, "Hey, listen, like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna find something that's easy and that works," and it's like, no, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, it's gonna be hard. And the cool thing is you can do it. All right, one other thing. Do you know who Alex Hormozy is by any chance?
No.
Alex Hormozy, he's like this fitness mega millionaire. Like he's sold a business for over $100 million or something like that. One of the things that he says is that keeps him going through like the hardest times is this will be the story that you'll one day tell.
Hmm.
And I just love that quote. So that's another one with like this podcast and building the studio and all that I think about. So
Yeah. I often tell myself that I need to be ready to do things that other people aren't willing to do, and
yeah,
leaning into the suck.
yeah, yeah. Leaning into the suck is interesting because it's like you can lean into the suck by sitting on the on your couch and watching TV all day, right?
Mm.
Or you can actually do something.
Yeah.
And that might suck too, but man, it's so much more rewarding.
Right.
What is something what is something you did physically or mentally that you never believed you could do, if anything?
So when I was a freshman in high school, I had to run a 7 minute and 30-second mile for volleyball in order to make the team.
Yeah.
And this will always stick with me because it was a number that I just felt was unattainable. There was no way.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the kind of prosthetics that I do now. They weren't as developed. Um, there was no like carbon fiber foot or anything like that.
Uh,
So I think the closest that I got, and trust me, I tried and ran all the time, but it was like maybe a minute off. I was still like 8:30 or something like that. And so I went into the room where they were telling everyone, like, did you make it or did you not? And I just felt defeated. I was like, okay, you're going to tell me I didn't make it because I didn't make that time.
yeah.
And actually, the freshman coach was like, you know what? You improved so much. And we know how hard you tried. And we want those character traits on our team. So you made it.
Cool.
And I was like, heck yeah. But that number still was in my head.
Mm,
And so when I first got my running blade when I was 35, it was granted to me through an organization called Wiggle Your Toes. And
okay.
I know, it was funny. I was like, I don't have any toes.
Yeah.
But I put this thing on and I was like, whoa, this is what running is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Like it didn't hurt. I had arthritis in my knee before because of just like the pounding. It just was so hard on my joints.
Mm,
And when I put this on, I felt like I was flying.
mm,
And that's the moment that changed everything.
mm,
Like, wow, okay, never mind. I'm actually good at this. But I always thought I sucked.
mm.
So now, like when I was training, especially for triathlon, I got that down to 6 minutes and 31 seconds. And I was like, I
Nice.
blew that out of the water, like by a minute,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, right. Wow, and so those types of legs weren't around when you were growing up, huh?
No, not at all.
Interesting. Wow, well, it's great that they've improved. And
Yeah.
another question, you mentioned that you have a bunch of different legs.
Yeah.
It's funny to say that out loud,
Yeah. I have a closet of legs.
but how many different legs do you have?
I think I have 5. Well,
Okay.
6 if you count the backup leg.
Okay.
That's just like in case something breaks.
Yeah.
I have a cosmetic leg that allows me to wear high heels. It has like
Okay.
a hydraulic foot.
Mm,
I have my everyday leg, my running blade,
okay.
my cycling leg that has the clip like screwed on to the bottom of my foot.
Yeah.
And then I have a swimming fin. So it's a regular socket and it actually has a fin screwed into the bottom.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And so you can put a flipper on it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have technically 6 different legs. One of them is a backup. That's interesting. So your running blade is the same one that you play tennis with?
No.
No.
No. So the running blade has kind of like a big C shape to it.
Yeah.
It really compresses a lot. In fact, it's set up like 2.5 inches taller than my sound side
Oh,
because it compresses and it's supposed to propel you forward.
yeah.
but I can't have that for tennis because of the side-to-side agility. It's like
Oh,
the I don't know, the make of it is just, like, not conducive to a lot of that side-to-side agility.
interesting. Okay, and what do you call the leg that you play tennis with?
I call that my everyday leg.
That's your everyday leg.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's the one you're wearing right now.
Yes.
Okay, got
Mhm.
it. Interesting. I didn't realize that. I think when you told me that you had a whole bunch of legs, I was like, oh, she puts a different one on for tennis and all
Well,
that
we
stuff.
actually tried recently, I'm talking like 2 months ago,
Okay.
to use the same running blade foot, but not set it up 2.5 inches taller,
Yeah.
and we made a whole leg, and it didn't work.
Oh.
Like, this I was so slow with it, and
Yeah.
then I just realized it's, like, almost pulling me backwards
Uh,
because of just the weight distribution and
yeah.
things like that.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, well, let's get into your I'm going to botch it, but fibular hemimyle
Chamomile. Hemimelia. There we go. Now you got me
hemimelia.
saying it
Yeah,
wrong.
say that 10 times fast, everyone. Okay, what do you remember hearing about your amputation story growing up? You weren't old enough to remember, right?
No, and
Yeah.
that is why they did it
Yeah.
when they did it.
Mm.
And also, so I wouldn't have the phantom pains that a lot of people
Uh,
have. They feel like they still have the foot, and it's actually very painful.
mm,
So they did it before I was 2.
mhm.
And I know that my mom told me that when the amputation was over, they were allowed to go back into like the recovery area. And I had the cast on and I was laying down in the crib.
Mhm.
And when I saw them, I tried to stand up,
Oh,
but I had no idea what had just happened because I was so young.
yeah.
And my mom's like, no, 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 like lay back down. And um, I just started wailing. And she said that that is a cry that she has never heard a baby like make that sound before. And it
Oh,
was like ingrained in her mind,
yeah.
just the pain. And it was just terrible.
Wow. Yeah, that's gotta be horrible. Around so I had club feet when I was born,
Mm.
and around when I was 2 as well, I had surgery to straighten out my feet. And my parents told me that when I was on a cast, I would lay on my back and put my legs straight up in the air and just bang them on the table. They're like, "Don't do that." Okay, so next question. What was the earliest moment you realized you moved differently than other kids? If you even remember that moment.
um, I would say, I mean, I had a hard time keeping up when I was like running with other kids in the neighborhood and things like that a little bit,
There's
but
a spider
I
coming down.
saw
Yeah,
that.
okay. I was very distracted. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, go ahead.
That's funny. But I would say soccer. When I was 5, I tried to did play soccer, and the hard leg was great for kicking it really far,
Yeah.
but it was not great for running long distances. And one, I would kick the leg off because it was held on by a strap, and the strap broke all the time.
Yeah.
So my mom knew to carry a safety pin with her, and I would have to sit down on the field. Everyone else would too, like if someone got hurt.
Mm,
And then she'd safety pin the thing back on. I would keep going, being annoyed, but um I think just like those things. And also when my leg wasn't fitting correctly, I had to wear a million socks.
yeah.
And that also helped with the friction and blisters and
Uh,
stuff like that. So especially when it wasn't fitting well and my skin was just rubbed raw,
yeah.
I couldn't keep up with people.
Uh,
It was
Interesting.
frustrating.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would imagine you get pretty bad
Oh
blisters.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Um, r Real quick, what would have happened if you didn't get your leg amputated?
There were a lot of other options that they presented to my parents. One was called leg lengthening, where they would actually screw a device to it and like stretch out your skin and things like that. And you'd have to do it like every 6 months. And my parents were like, no, this is not right
That
for her.
sounds painful.
Yeah. And I've seen it done because some other kids at my hospital, because I was a Shriners Hospital kid, they had it done, and maybe it worked in their situation, but I honestly do feel like my parents chose the right thing for
Yeah.
me. But they also said that I could wear this like really tall shoe, like build it up because of the length difference. But that wouldn't have really helped the rigidity of my ankle
Right.
because it was really floppy.
Right.
Um,
Probably fragile too, since you only have one bone.
yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
And they put me in this brace for a while that was supposed to help the curvature of my foot. That didn't really work. So we were almost out of options,
Uh,
really.
could you move your foot at
Yeah.
all and your toes as well?
Yep.
And you had like full feeling and
Yes.
okay, interesting. Um, okay, so then you got into sports at age 5.
hmm
What did sports give you that nothing else did?
I'm a competitive person. I don't
Yeah.
know why. Like maybe I just get that honest. My dad was pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But I liked how like empowered I felt when I played sports.
Yeah.
I liked feeling victory
Mm,
and success. And I would say, I don't know, I also liked feeling normal like all the other kids.
yeah.
So
What were some of what were some of the sports that you adopted early on? Did you try them all or
I played t-ball and soccer
okay?
really early on. And then it wasn't until I think 7th grade that I played volleyball.
Okay.
And 5th grade, I started basketball.
Okay.
Um, Tennis, I didn't start till junior year of high school.
Okay. Wait, so you did play tennis before you did pair standing?
Yes, I played for 2 years and I was on the varsity team. My coach was an awesome guy. He was really nice. He didn't know all that much about tennis.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have like lessons or I didn't go to any private like club or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I just kind of figured it out myself. And I'm sure I wasn't all that great, but like I'm athletic. So I
Yeah.
just made it work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I figured
Cool.
it out.
Okay. Okay, well, let's talk about the paratriathlon. When did you start training for that?
Let's see. That might have been 2024 was the Paralympics. So 3 years before that.
Wow. Okay. And what made you decide to want to get into that?
Yeah, this is crazy. Because like I just told you, I hated running. I felt like a failure.
Yeah.
Um, but I just written my book and I wanted to have someone help promote it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just looking around online and on Twitter, I had made some kind of post like, I just want to try something new. I just had my younger daughter and I just wanted to get back in shape and stuff like that. So one of the YMCA's had like this really, it was called like a super sprint or something like that.
Okay.
Very short distance triathlon.
Yeah.
And my friend and I were just going to try it. So I posted that and I got a message in my inbox from Melissa Stockwell. And I didn't have a clue who she was at the time. So I did a quick Google search on her. She'd already been to the Paralympics in swimming and
Oh,
in paratriathlon.
wow.
And I was like, what is this lady doing?
Yeah.
So she was like, hey, have you ever wanted to try triathlon? I was like, no, ma'am.
Right.
No. And I was like, I don't run. I don't run well. And she was like, let me get you in touch with these people. We're gonna get you a leg. That's to start off with. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. I got my leg and I told you I felt super empowered and fast. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try this. And she's like, I'm having a camp. It's in Wisconsin and you can go for free. It's
Yeah.
like, I like free.
Yeah.
Sure. So I went and part of the camp was the last day you did a sprint triathlon.
Mm.
It was the first time I'd ever swam in open water. It
Wow.
was the first time I've ever worn a wetsuit,
Okay.
and I was terrified.
Yeah.
There was a storm that came in like 20 minutes before the race started,
Oh.
and there's white caps in the water.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I'm still doing this. Okay. So I went out there and I figured out really fast I had to breathe only to one side because the water kept coming over my head
Oh.
and I would suck in all this water. So I'm breathing to one side. So I couldn't even see that there was this safety boat coming right at me. And I I was assuming it was the current because the storm, like the
Yeah.
boat just couldn't go away from me, and I knew it
Right.
was gonna hit me. So I had to dive under the water,
Whoa.
and it hit my goggles a little bit, and then it let in all this water. So then once the boat went over top of me, I had to flip on my back, put these goggles back on, keep going.
Oh my.
And the like at the start, Melissa was there and she was like, I've seen you practice these last 2 days and I think you have a shot at making it to the national championship. I was like, that's great. What's that?
Yeah.
So naive. And she told me a little bit about it. She told me the time and I was like, I don't know. So I was like calculating what times I thought I could get. And I was like, yeah, this
Yeah.
actually might be possible.
Hmm.
So I crossed the finish line and I looked at my husband and I was like, what time? And he's like, you made it by a minute. I was like, no, I didn't.
Nice.
So that was an hour and 43 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
And then I qualified for the national championship. I think it was like 4 weeks later. I went to California
Okay.
and did that race and got third place and
Wow.
shaved like 12 minutes off my time just
Whoa.
because I started training.
Yeah.
And then from there, Team USA kind of started getting involved and invited
Yeah.
me to some camps at the training center. And
Yeah.
I got a coach. And
Nice.
then I think 3 months after that, I was racing internationally.
Wow. So you basically made alternate, only training for like probably 2 years before they made the decision, 2.5
Two and a
years,
half. Yeah. Hmm.
something like that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. You don't see that very often, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was nuts. Like the last, I would say, two races, I was getting like an hour and 14 minutes. Like I
Wow.
just shaved off a half an hour.
Yeah,
It's just crazy what your body can do.
that's awesome. Real quick for those that don't know, talk about the distances within the triathlon.
Yeah, so you swim first, and that is 750 meters.
Okay.
And then you bike next. That's about 12 and a half miles. And then it's a 5K run.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's got to be insane. So it's interesting. So I started racing, and I stopped racing once I found tennis because I found racing boring.
Mm,
And it was, I mean, I was 10, right? Like I
yeah.
just enjoyed hitting, like chasing a ball and hitting that along the court. So it takes a lot of discipline to like get into the grind, if you
Oh,
will,
yeah.
of doing that.
Yeah.
So,
There were times during training, and I actually felt so isolated
mm,
with training for triathlon.
yeah,
It's not like tennis. You don't have someone on the other side of the court.
right.
So I was every Tuesday, I will never forget, 3 hours in my basement on my bike trainer.
Wow.
I'm like, this is another kind of hell. This is terrible.
3 hours.
Terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah. Hopefully you put on like a podcast or music, or
Yeah, a little bit.
how do you entertain yourself while you're doing that?
Sometimes I would watch a show, but if the workout is too intense, I can't.
Yeah.
I
No, you
just
can't pay
have to
attention.
focus on it.
Yeah. 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 Interesting. Okay. So when was the moment that you learned you were the 2024 Paralympic alternate?
I kind of knew going in. So there's a few things. I broke my toe, and then like 6 weeks later, I have a stress fracture because I tried to come back too early.
Oh.
And then I got hit by a car. My
Oh.
family and I were
What?
involved in a pretty bad collision. This
Okay.
guy turned on green, not a green arrow. So totaled our car, everything, and it sent me into well, actually, I had terrible whiplash and I couldn't even swim. I had to use a snorkel because I couldn't turn my head. It was terrible.
Whoa.
So those things all happening within 6 months of each other.
Yeah.
Um, it put me out of two races that I really needed to earn points on.
Wow.
And because I couldn't race, my ranking went down.
Oh.
And I don't know if anyone knows this, but for paratriathlon, they only take the top two per country to high level races. And I
Whoa.
dropped to number 3 because of that.
Oh.
And then from then on, the number 2 went to every single race so that I couldn't go,
Oh,
which is fine. I mean, it's strategic.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
Did you do you have a faster time than her?
Not after I had those injuries,
Sure.
but before that, I beat her every single race in
Okay.
the year before that.
So it's interesting. I've had the person I had on my last podcast, Jen, who's Levi's mom. Levi's one of the wheelchair athletes that I coach. She got in a wreck too and talked about that. That's
Mhm.
interesting that two people back to back have gotten in a pretty bad car wreck. So are you recovered from it? You
Yes.
are. Okay.
Yeah. I would just say my younger daughter, had the most difficulty with it emotionally. Like,
Yeah.
she just didn't wanna get back in the car, loud noises. It was tough.
Interesting. Okay. And is she doing okay now?
She's doing great. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
You mentioned you wrote a book. Do
I did.
you wanna talk about that briefly?
Sure. Yeah, I actually read Amy Purdy's book, and she's a double amputee. Um, Meningitis, I thought, is how she lost hers.
Whoa.
Yeah, her story is amazing, and she also went to the Paralympics. I wanna say it was in snowboarding.
Okay.
But I was reading her book, and I was like, "You know what? I have a story to tell. Like,
Yeah.
why have I not ever done this?"
Yeah.
I'm an English teacher. I have my master's in writing. Like, it
Oh,
makes perfect sense. So I just felt called to share my story. So
interesting.
my book is called Whole: A Leg Up on Life,
Whole a
which is
leg up
perfect
on
for
life.
leg day.
Yeah, yeah, right, like, dang.
Leg day.
I was weird, I was like, this is kinda funny.
Yes.
But, yeah, okay, so can you repeat the book name again?
Yeah, it's called Whole: A Leg Up on Life.
Okay, so whole is WHOLE,
It
right?
is.
Not like there's a hole.
That's right,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
because the whole premise is I feel more whole now that I don't have my leg,
Mm,
which maybe I'm not physically as whole, but I certainly am
yeah,
spiritually, emotionally.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's interesting, I walked on crutches until 5th grade, and surgery put me in a wheelchair for a few weeks, and I realized I could carry my own lunch tray and
Mm,
stuff like that, and,
yeah,
like, I definitely feel more whole with a wheelchair rather than without,
yeah.
rather than with crutches, so, alright, so, do you like dad jokes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it is time for the wheelie bad joke segments, and we're gonna talk about your transition into tennis after that. But here's how wheelie bad jokes works: is I'm gonna tell you a joke. You can tell me one back if you have one, no pressure. But I do want you to rate the joke, and I'm curious. I'm 90% sure you've probably heard this joke. If you like dad jokes, being an amputee, but I always try to theme it towards the person. And it's one that Hendo tells all the time, or he's told in the past. Do you remember who Hendo is?
No.
He's one of the single leg pair standing, not pair standing, but wheelchair athletes of mine. I forget what the term is, but he has the backwards
Oh, the
flip.
rotation plasty.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
rotation plasty. So that's Hendo, and one of the kids was having a bad day, and he went over and told them this joke. So,
No.
the joke is, what's an amputee's favorite restaurant?
I don't know.
IHOP.
Perfect. Duh.
Okay, what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I gotta give that at least an 8.
Yes. I told a really bad one last podcast, so it was an increase from that.
There we
I'm
go.
keeping a chart to see if I can maximize. No, I'm just kidding. Do you have a dad joke that you want to tell?
Well, how about this one? This is my daughter's joke.
Okay.
Why did the avocado go to the doctor?
Oh, wait. I might know this. Why did the avocado go to the doctor? No, I don't know.
Just feeling like the pits. It has a
Ah!
pit. Ah.
Oh my gosh, there's so many like fruit corny jokes or fruit food really corny jokes that I know. So I won't go into them. All right, let's switch to the pair standing tennis. So, what made you switch from para triathlon to pair standing tennis?
Well, I would say, to keep it as positive as I can, There was just a lot of politics
Oh,
in triathlon.
oh.
And the last, I would say, 2 or 3 months really left a bad taste in my mouth. Um,
Mm,
how the whole thing went is our number 1 who was gonna go to Paris, she got sick about a week before the games,
mm.
and everyone knew that. Me being the alternate, I never got called. I never got a chance to go,
Oh.
never even got an explanation, like nothing.
So they just took one person?
So one person
No.
raced.
And
Mhm.
you were the alternate.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so I still have no idea why. I don't know, and maybe I'm just gonna leave it like that. It is what it is. Maybe it just wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But after that, I just realized training for 4 more years with the training regimen being as insane as it is,
Mm,
it just left me like a shell of a person.
yeah.
And I had to become like a machine.
Yeah.
And it took so much away. Like I barely had any friends. I couldn't go out.
Mm,
Um, I don't know. It was so hard
mm.
mentally. And I knew I needed to switch to something that like one sport, not 3.
Yeah.
And I just love playing tennis just for fun.
Mm,
And I hadn't done that in 3 years because I didn't have time.
mm.
And I just started playing with my husband again, just
Okay.
for fun over the
Cool.
summer. And then I was like, okay, I really love this actually. And
Mhm.
like I told you before, like I still wanted to have that purpose. And if I didn't have para sports or maybe even like my motivational speaking or anything that I do that's para related, I lose that whole community and I lose my purpose.
Yeah.
So I was just feeling like I needed something. And that's when I just started doing a quick Google search
Mm.
and I found Cincinnati Tennis Foundation. So I left an inquiry on their website
Ah.
and then I got an email back from Matt Dectus.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, how about you just come and let's just play around for a while and see how you play?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I went and like within 15 minutes of hitting around with him, he was like, "I want to coach you." I
Wow.
was like, "Oh, okay."
That's awesome. And how long ago did you start doing tennis?
Maybe a year and 3 months,
A
I think.
year and 3
Yeah.
months. Okay. So a year and 3 months, everyone. And Kendra, what world rank are you right now?
Well, since I've never played internationally, I can't
You don't have a
say
world rank.
right. But because it's very small, like a small community, I pretty much know everyone. And I would say I'm the number 2 female in the world,
Wow.
but the number 1 is a PST1. So she's seen as less disabled than me.
Mhm.
I'm a PST2.
Mm. Okay.
But in America, I am our number 1 female
Yeah. Number 1 female.
of any category.
And when you go to tournaments, is it co-ed or mixed? Is it mixed or not?
Well, it depends on the level of the tournament.
Yeah.
For international tournaments that are normally bigger and have more players, we definitely play with our gender.
Mhm.
And we're trying to only play with our classification,
Yeah.
but we're not quite there yet.
Right.
So they've been grouping ones and twos together and three and fours together.
Mm.
And that seems to work. It's just hard being a 2 because I have to play against ones
Yeah.
that are
Yeah,
less
yeah.
disabled.
Right. Right.
So I'm going to Dallas in December,
Okay.
and that's the continental tournament for
Okay.
North America. And we have more players than we did last year. We're definitely going to be able to have a women's tournament.
Okay.
But again, I think there's only like 3 ones and twos.
Yeah.
So that's hard. And I won't be able to get ranking unless there's 4 players.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know that's a challenge of I think adaptive sports in general is how do you get the disabilities that are similar to compete with each other.
Yeah.
Like in wheelchair tennis, there's just the wheelchair division, and then there's the quad division, and that's it. And the I haven't been to any like huge tournaments recently, but I think it's all mixed, male female, and yeah. So
Mm.
I don't think they've separated it. I mean, certainly at the Paralympics they have separated it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, anyway, but yeah, that is a challenge because like, you know, watching the Paralympics this past go around, there was a quad who had full function of his abs.
Hmm.
And in tennis, you have to have three or more limbs impaired, so you can technically have like part of or like all four pinkies, your pinky toe, your pinky fingers missing, and you can be a quad.
Huh.
And so yeah, and maybe there's different, maybe there's more specifics to that rule, but you can have full trunk control as a quad, and it's like, man, like I feel like the people that maybe aren't quite a quad but are still have no trunk control, maybe they're the ones that we should group into that
Right.
category over somebody that has full trunk control.
Yeah, and actually I found this in triathlon even more so than tennis. I That's one of the reasons I left
Yeah.
triathlon is because I started competing against people with all of their arms and legs
Oh.
in my category. And I was like, what's happening here? But they
Whoa.
put all the cognitive people, so any kind of neuro,
Mm,
like one girl had a tumor in her brain
uh-huh.
when she was 16,
Okay.
but it was operable. They
Uh-huh.
removed it.
Uh-huh.
Before they removed it, she had a lot of balance issues,
Yeah.
and it would make perfect sense as she was in our category. But
Right.
it was removed, and she restored almost full function. So people like that, they were just running out of the water, and I had to get carried. And then I
Oh.
had to sit down in a chair and put my leg on. They're
Oh.
still running. Like, I don't, you just couldn't make up for the discrepancy
Yeah.
in the transition time.
Right. Right. That's interesting that they wouldn't like knock off some of the transition time, or I don't know. Wow. That
Yeah,
yeah, that is kind of crazy. But you know, I think the the other end of that is if you have too many categories, kind of like what you're running into, you only have three people and you need four to get ranked.
exactly.
You don't have as many players, and
Mhm.
so it's like a catch 22.
It
Like, what do
is.
you do there? Like, you want as many people to play and compete as possible, but you also want to make it fair.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you have any solutions to that, or
No, not really. I just, I know that we have to keep working at it. And it's something
yeah?
that probably just needs to keep, getting looked at. And we can't just pigeonhole it into one thing and like never look at it again. But I
This
think it is changing.
this is a dark joke, and I don't mean I don't mean this seriously, but we just need to get more people to join us.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like more people to join the para community.
Right. I
That's
really hope
horrible.
they're not losing their legs
Yeah,
or
no. I'm totally kidding. Danny Meyer told a joke about that. I clipped it, and yeah, it's hysterical. I won't tell it here, but okay. So then, so you w- so what you kind of said that earlier. What part of the game challenged you the most at the beginning?
I would just say the technique. Like I went to mat very raw.
Mm,
Um I'd never been taught, so even just like the looping on the forehand,
yeah,
I just would like bring my racket straight down.
yeah,
He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know
yeah.
what I'm doing." And then the serve, like I would hold the racket in a certain way, and it was just very like straight up and down.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Don't hold the racket that way."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It was so funny. I'm like, "Whoa, why not?"
Right.
Just I didn't know what I didn't know.
Right, right.
But
Well, you certainly learned pretty quick. So, what is one of the biggest what is one of the biggest misconceptions people have about parasailing tennis?
I just feel like they don't even know what it is at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Or they don't know the difference between wheelchair tennis and para standing.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you say para, they're like, wheelchair. I'm like, no,
Hmm.
that is its own thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, para standing, like that kind of
Mm.
self-explanatory, but to other people who have no background in it,
Right.
they just really have no idea.
Right. Yeah. Well, one thing that I didn't know was how big of a difference there was between different legs.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. We were talking with I try not to say the kids. Hendo's coming on the podcast, so that's why I'm saying his name. But one of the kids that was in the pair standing tournament for the first time, he did wheelchair and pair standing.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking to him about his leg,
Yeah.
and the importance of needing a new one because the one he has is like super heavy.
Right.
And
So heavy.
yeah, that was an interesting, I guess, misconception is like all legs are made equally or was something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
And to be honest, the reason that kids, it's typically kids, but adults can have it too, but the rotation plasty where they switch the foot to backwards
yeah,
is to save the knee.
yeah,
And but even then, like they will never be as mobile as someone like me
hmm,
who is congenital and who has the majority of my leg past my knee.
yeah,
Like my limb is so long,
right,
but then they're in the same category as me.
right,
And then you feel bad because you know they can't be as mobile as me.
right, right. Yeah, that's interesting. So, can you talk to me a little bit about the rules as you get down to like more amputation or really more more disabled? Let's
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Um,
So a 4 is typically just short stature and they get 2 bounces.
okay.
Then a 3 is typically um, above knee
Hmm.
amputee, but it could also be like an arm and a below knee.
Ah.
So 2 things. Um, or it could be 2 arms, something like that. For a PSE2 like me is typically below knee
Mm,
amputation, but it can also be cerebral palsy.
mm,
But my old case, the more, I guess, severe cases would be a 3, but then 1 is almost always upper extremity. So just like a hand or
oh,
something
okay.
like that. And only 3s and 4s get 2 bounces. I do
Mhm.
not.
Right. And neither does rotation plasty,
Right.
which is interesting because the one bounce is they basically say that if you have a below knee amputation that you get one bounce. If it's above knee, you get two bounces.
Right.
But rotation plasty in
They almost
place of a
act like,
knee, they have they have their heel. So essentially their foot looks like this, and this is their heel, and they can wiggle their toes and all that, and they can put it out. So it moves like this, the rotation plasty, but it does not function like a normal
no,
knee. And
they're basically above knee
yeah,
amputees.
yeah. So
They
that
have the mobility of that.
right. Which is interesting that they count that as below knee because they have that little. But anyway, it's not a perfect system, but
No,
at least we have the opportunity to go out and play and have fun. So
right.
and compete and all that. So, what are you doing now to help grow the sport?
I'm just trying to bring in newer players to the Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
So we've brought 2 now,
Oh
and I haven't even told you about the other one.
no, you haven't.
It's a 17-year-old boy,
Okay.
and he has a condition that affects his both of his arms.
Okay.
So he cannot rotate to here.
Oh.
He can only go about to here, I would
Okay.
say. So he has to serve a little differently, like toss the ball a little differently.
Yeah.
And his arms really bow out, I
Okay.
would say.
Uh-huh.
So a typical backhand, like 2-hand backhand, he cannot do that.
Uh,
He slices a lot, and then he has the 1-hand backhand.
okay.
Um, Also, because I just played him the other day for the first time, his spin is just so weird.
Uh,
He has so much backspin on his ball
yeah.
rather than topspin, and it took me a while to figure him out. But I'm like,
Interesting.
that's great for you because like people would not know
Yeah.
how to play that.
Yeah.
But it's so cool just to have younger players come into the sport
Yeah.
and just hopefully, because he plays able-bodied right now, and
Yeah.
he doesn't really know many people like him either, and I'm like, "I see myself in you."
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's talk about wheelchair versus pair standing. So wheelchairs get 2 bounces. Obviously, you use a wheelchair. Pair standing players can play wheelchair tennis.
Mhm.
What when you think about the 2 different sports, let's say, what would you tell someone who does have the potential to do both and might I would think might eventually need to pick one. Would you
Mhm.
agree with that just to stay competitive?
I would say so. Like, Matt and I were thinking
Yeah.
to put me in a chair
Yeah.
because para-standing tennis right now is not a Paralympic sport.
Right.
We're not thinking it's gonna be until 32.
Oh,
Um, and he saw potential in me. He's like, "I think that you could do really well."
yeah.
But I have never used a chair in my life.
Yeah.
And as you know, I mean, you're so skilled, you make it look like it's effortless. But me, I would be like, "What am I doing? Like, I can't
Sure.
turn like you do." And,
Right.
even just playing against you, there's just no way. You almost have to anticipate
Yeah.
and turn and go backward so you can come forward.
Yeah.
There's just so much to think about.
Yeah.
But for me, I wouldn't want to be in a chair if I have the ability to be more mobile.
Yeah.
I love the exercise. And that's probably why I don't love doubles. I'm like, I just want singles. I want to run all around. And
Oh, you don't like
I don't
doubles.
like
Interesting.
doubles. Well, one, because I suck at the net. Also, but
Okay.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I love working out. I like
Yeah.
getting my heart rate up. I like the challenge.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, I would just say do whatever you can,
Yeah.
and also, like, whatever is most fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just whatever you find enjoyment in,
Yeah.
that's what's for you.
Right. Do you ever run into people who are, too, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember. It's, too, like, prideful
Mm,
to get in a wheelchair?
I would say, I'm even too prideful to use crutches sometimes. I'm
Oh,
gonna be honest, like, I don't know,
interesting.
and my dad wanted to teach me how to drive with my left foot.
Mm,
He's gonna be so much easier, Kendra, and I'm like, "Nope, I'm
mm,
gonna do it like everybody else."
yeah.
And I was just a very stubborn, I don't know,
S
bullheaded kid.
so you push the pedals with your prosthetic.
Yeah,
Interesting, yeah.
yeah.
I can't feel or move my feet, and I drive with my feet, so
No
we're
way.
kind of in the same boat.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
I can move my knee, and I can pivot my knee on the with my heel on the floor. I can
Mhm.
pivot my foot that way.
Oh my god.
So, yeah,
See?
it's
You're
worked
so
out.
adaptable.
I know, right? But yeah, it's interesting. I see in like the adaptive world, a lot of parents want to have their kids walk.
Mhm.
For example, there was a girl who came in with with a walker,
Mhm.
and she tried to play tennis in the walker, and she doesn't have cerebral palsy, but it's kind of like cerebral palsy.
'Kay.
And I'd say it's a moderate to severe case of what she has. And so, you know, her trying to hold the walker, swing the
And a
racket,
racket. Oh,
and
man.
all that, like it was very, very hard. So eventually she got in a wheelchair, and that's where it worked out better for
Oh,
her.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting. I wanted to have that discussion with you because there are I think a lot of society is like very like, oh, you gotta walk. And like I saw a video of these pair standing these paraplegics paralyzed from the waist down, and there was a robot that was
Oh,
walking
yeah,
them
yeah.
with crutches. And my first thought was, this is great technology like 10, 20 years from now. But if you look at how slow they're walking
Mhm.
compared to being in a wheelchair, it's like it doesn't quite hit the mark.
Right. Not
So
feasible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Any other thoughts about that? Of
I wish that Like, I like how stubborn I am and how much I push myself to be my best version of
Yeah.
myself in some ways, and others, like, I think I was 36 years old before I got the darn handicap placard. 'Cause I was like, "I'm not handicapped," you
Yeah.
know, and I'm like, "Yes, I am." Like,
Yeah.
it's hard with your identity. Like, if
Yeah.
you say that you are, let's say, disabled or handicapped, it is just a word.
Mm.
Like, I am a lot of things,
Yeah.
and just because I am that does not mean that I am also this. Like,
Right.
I think it's just letting that part go
Right.
and just doing what's best for you.
Right. Right.
And that I got the placard because I broke my toe,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
because of my
Right.
prosthesis.
Right.
And then I'm like, "You know what? This is super helpful. Why did
Yeah.
I not do this earlier?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Stubborn.
Yeah, I try not to park in the handicap spot as much as possible, but, like, if there's, like, it's a gravel lot or something like that, then, like, I'll take advantage and park there, but
Totally.
generally speaking, I try not to. Um, okay. M Do you wanna talk about the Cincinnati tournament at all? Like, how did you promote? Like, I expected maybe 10 pair standing athletes to be there, and what, we had, like, 15 to 20?
Yeah, I think 17 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was pretty awesome. How'd you get all those people to come from Chile, and you said Germany as well?
Yeah, I sent them personal invitations.
That's awesome. Okay.
I just think that that really has a nice touch
Yeah,
and makes it more personal,
yeah,
but, um, I just reached out to a lot of people and wanted them to know that it was available and
yeah,
that the community is gonna be there,
yeah,
and I thought we had a really great first showing.
yeah,
There's some things that we can grow from and,
yeah,
learn, but,
sure.
um, pretty proud of that first tournament.
Yeah. Um Yeah, me too. It was pretty cool. The first exposure that I had to pair standing tennis was at the Michigan tournament,
Mm.
and I was like, "Whoa, we got to bring that to Cincinnati!"
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, we did. It was pretty cool. Next year is gonna be a different location probably, and we'll see what happens with that. So,
Yeah.
okay, let's talk about your professional life. What does being a teacher give you that athletics doesn't?
Um, I just love connecting with the kids.
Yeah.
I really do. And I love writing,
Mm,
especially. I mean, reading's great too, but
mhm,
I just love giving them feedback on their writing and helping them build confidence in
mhm.
that area. I recently just started teaching the college course. So,
Oh,
College Credit Plus, I teach composition
okay.
through Cincinnati State.
Okay, cool.
And that has been great.
Mm,
Like, I have very motivated kids because they're
yeah,
all college bound and they're taking their first college class and they're afraid, but also like excited.
yeah,
And we kind of are navigating that together.
yeah.
But I also think it's really cool to share about myself.
Mm,
Um, one, because they need to see different people
yeah,
and they need to be exposed to people.
yeah.
Um, and I also have all my medals hanging up in my room.
Oh, cool.
And I forget what the quote says about something like, "It's gonna take everything you have."
Mm,
And I tell them, I was like, "Your medals might not be in triathlon
yeah,
or tennis. Your accomplishments are gonna come from various avenues, but
yeah.
it might take all you got,
Right,
and you better be willing to give it all you got."
right.
And I think they see that I've done that, and, like, I am an example
Yeah.
of someone who probably shouldn't be able to get to where I am because I have a lot of setbacks, but I still have been able to rise above that, and hopefully they see that they can too.
Mm, that's awesome. How do people react when they see that you have a prosthetic? Or do you wear, like, pants or
I wear pants, so some people don't know, but the very first day I tell them,
Okay.
and then I let them warm up to me a little bit, and probably just like 3 weeks ago, so we're not even halfway through the year yet, I took my leg off in front of them, and I walked all around, and I get really short when
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah.
Pass my leg around and they see like how it hooks on and everything. And
Interesting.
I think it just makes me seem more like real to
Mm.
them and
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us want to hide what makes us different, but if I just want to put it all out there and show
Yeah.
them like I'm proud of this.
Yeah.
You guys should be proud of whatever makes you different too.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom always said it was a superpower. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So what made you want to become a motivational speaker?
Oh, I didn't want to become a motivational speaker. Nope. I don't know. I used to be really shy and like that's just not part
Okay.
of my character,
Okay.
but I've gotten way more used to it. Now,
Okay.
when I wrote my book, people started asking me to talk.
Oh.
And I was like, I guess so.
Okay.
Sure. And from there, now I'm super comfortable on the stage and I know how much that platform can reach people.
Yeah.
And now I see it as a blessing
Yeah.
for sure. And to be honest, what I love most about speeches is at the end when people come up to you and then they tell you their stories. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the best.
Interesting. Oh, and how often do you do motivational speeches?
I would say maybe 4 or 5 a year.
Okay.
And if you count like the small little appearance kind of things like with sponsors and stuff, then it might be like 10.
Sure. Okay. And do you go, is it within Cincinnati or do you go all over the
All
place?
over the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people find you through your book
My
and
website
okay.
mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through your website you just have like, hey, book me to be a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty
Interesting.
much.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna I have a note in my phone that says Path to TED Talk.
Mm.
I would love to be on a TED Talk.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, do the motivational speaking. So here's another interesting thing is I don't know that I want it to be motivational speaking in that phrase.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And the reason being is because I do wanna inspire people, right? But I wanna inspire them to take action, right?
Mm.
So if someone says, "Oh, you inspire me," it's like, "Okay, great, but, like, what are you doing about that
Yeah.
inspiration?" Like, that's kinda the what I wanna get. Like, I wanna motivate somebody, but, I feel like a lot of motivational speeches is, like, makes you feel good for a day, and then
It
you
falls
get
flat
on
after that.
with your own life,
Mhm.
right? So, what any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely would say more of like the practical part of a lot of times I'm speaking in schools and
Yeah.
it's kind of just like making sure that they are not bullying or like being sensitive to others or
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But it's also like in their life, I always give them an action step. Like, what's
Mm,
one thing that you don't think you can do right now?
mm,
And then I have them come up with like a shoot for the stars kind of goal and then a more practical, like I can reach that quicker kind of thing. And
cool.
we come up with a game plan, like
Okay.
there, right there in the speech. And then they're
Nice.
leaving with something. And typically I like it to be tangible. Like I want them to write it down.
Oh,
That way it's not just in their head and then they lose it when they
yeah.
get in their car.
Yeah.
Like, no, it follows you.
Yeah. Interesting. How long are your speeches normally?
About an hour, I would
Hour.
say.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Have you ever done anything with School Aid?
School aid?
Uh-huh.
No, not heard
Yeah.
of it.
So Ian Smith, he's with School Aid. He's a Cincinnati guy, and they actually go to different schools, and so like I've done events for him where there's an assembly of like here's what disabled is and all that, and then he brings 10 basketball wheelchairs and they play wheelchair basketball. And they
Cool.
rotate the people out and stuff like that. So really cool things. I also did like a coaching the coach type of thing where it was like the YMCA and they we challenged them on how to integrate adaptive kids on their like within their curriculum and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it
love that.
was oh man, I love stuff like that. It's so fun. So
And actually, coaches really need that.
yeah.
Matt's been great.
Mm.
has dealt with some other wheelchair players before, but
Yeah.
not any para standing. And he's just constantly asking me, like, can you do that
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
before he just assumes?
Right.
And there's some other coaches. I was just there on Wednesday and he was like, no, 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 do it this way. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. And he's like,
Yeah.
shoot, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you see him, like his eyes even go up and he's literally thinking, and he's like, okay, how could she do that? And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is why you're a good coach.
Right.
Like just the fact that you are patient enough and like want to help me
Yeah.
to be creative to figure this out.
Yeah.
But people need to be taught sometimes how to do that.
Right.
And there's not much out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. What's so let's talk. I've got a brief question about modeling. So how does modeling fit into your identity? You kind of already answered that, but do you have anything else to say? You kind of said, go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely have something to say about that because growing up, I was really insecure
Oh,
about my physical body, and
oh,
I would try to hide things like wearing pants or
yeah,
crossing one leg over the other, things like that.
oh,
Not wanting to take it off to go in the pool if there were cute guys in there. You know, it was just all sorts of things. Um, I really want to send the message that all body types are beautiful
mm,
and beauty. I think we see models, and the first thought that comes to your head is tall, skinny, maybe even white, like these kinds of things. And it's not that.
mm,
And why can't I be there with my leg that I think looks super cool?
mm,
And especially with some of the more athletic shoots that I've done,
yeah,
my leg has a huge American flag. Like the whole leg is the American flag.
cool.
I just think it's powerful
Hmm.
and maybe not beautiful necessarily, but like beautiful to me. And I think people need to see that confidence exuded.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's something that a camera can achieve.
Mhm.
So why not be in front of the camera?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
I
a little
mean,
intimidating at times. And again, that's the vulnerability part. But
yeah,
I endure that knowing that some little girl
yeah,
is going to see that
yeah,
and be like, look, she looks
yeah,
like me.
yeah. Right. Have you ever, like in your endeavors, have you ever had a little girl come up to you and be like, "I saw you here," like,
No, I wouldn't
no,
say so.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like I go to quite a few events and you can definitely tell they take to me really
yeah.
fast.
That's
Even
awesome.
like just little kids in general.
Yeah,
And they'll be like, oh, your design kind of looks like mine. Or I used to have that design on my leg. And
yeah.
just I met a little kid in my own hometown. He lost his leg from a lawnmower accident, and I was the first amputee that he'd ever met.
Mm.
And he was like, "Can you jump?" I was like, "Yeah, you want to see?" He's like, "Yeah." And we just shared this moment,
Yeah,
and you just like can't replicate that.
yeah,
It needs to happen. It's
yeah.
so honest and true.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's why we need to get more people into adaptive sports to be in that community. Can you think of another community where that community is there? Like,
Hmm.
because Jake was talking about that, and there's not really. I mean, there's a few groups here and there that do like arts and crafts in Cincinnati, but like not outside of disabled sports. There's really not.
No. Yeah, I would say no.
Yeah.
If you're disabled, you're probably going to get into community because of sports.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. We've got about 9 minutes left. Let's do a rapid fire and then I've got some more uh like hypothetical disability questions for you.
Okay.
Rapid fire, so just answer this in a word or a sentence or just as quick as possible. So, favorite court surface,
Hardcourt.
best pre-match food.
Hmm. Peanut butter and jelly?
Okay. Dream city to compete in.
Mm. I don't somewhere in Hawaii.
Okay. One thing's thing students say that instantly makes you laugh?
Right now,
Yeah.
6, 7.
Yeah.
It changes every week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Teaching or competing, pick one.
Competing.
Okay. First word your students would use to describe you.
Mm, chill.
Chill, okay.
Chi
Bucket list adventure.
Ooh, it has to be traveling somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to Japan. That's kind of a bucket list thing, but it's already planned.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Most underrated tennis skill.
It has to be the backhand volley.
Mm, so I had Matt on, and I loved his response. And he didn't even think about it. He's just like the mind, and
Mm,
I was like, oh my gosh, that's
yeah,
so
that's
true.
great.
So I've been trying to ask that to every athlete, every tennis athlete that comes in.
Mhm.
So okay, so with the disability segment, what's something people assume is difficult for you that isn't?
I would say driving at this time.
Yeah,
Like, it's not it maybe was at the beginning, but
yeah,
now for me, it's like second nature.
yeah.
Um, I just don't feel like they think sports are hard.
Mm,
They underestimate, I
yeah,
think, a lot.
yeah, yeah. What about so for me, it's getting my wheelchair in the car,
Mm.
and then what was the other one? Getting my wheelchair in the car, and then I don't remember what the other one was, but I had two. But yeah, everyone's like, "Hey, do you need help?" And then I'm like, "Nope."
Nope, got
Oh,
it.
opening doors was the other one.
Mhm.
That's easy, at least for me. It is challenging for some people in wheelchairs, but
Yeah.
what's something that's actually difficult but nobody sees?
Um, I would just say, like, the everyday nuances of being an amputee.
Mm,
Like, it's always something. Today, I just put on a new liner because the liner keeps getting holes from tennis. So I switched liners and then it's hard to explain, but the pin is what kind of holds me and it locks into the bottom.
yeah.
And like, it wasn't going all the way down.
Mm,
And so I had to have my husband use pliers, put it back, like basically tighten it so that it did not do whatever it was doing. And that seems so stupid and little, but
yeah.
it was painful
Mm,
and really annoying. It was
yeah.
like kind of clicking and this and that.
Yeah.
It's just like the stupid everyday stuff.
Yeah. 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 It's interesting. I think a lot of people don't realize like wheelchair maintenance, and like you have to pump up your tires every couple months because they do slowly go flat. And
Hmm.
so yeah, that's interesting. What's one thing you wish more people understood about limb differences?
I would say they were all different. I think they see an amputee and they're like, oh, and they have like one version of what that means.
Yeah.
But we are so different.
Yeah.
Like a 80-year-old amputee is not going to be the same as me.
Right.
And a congenital amputee is very different than someone who's lost it later in life.
Yeah.
So I would just say, just like everybody else is, like everyone's different.
Yeah.
So are amputees.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, how does no, I already asked that question. What's an awkward moment that is maybe common or uncommon that you get just being pair standing?
I think, well, I'll give you an example. I was meeting my daughter's teacher for the first time at Meet the Teacher this year, and I was wearing shorts because it's the beginning of the year, and he was like, "Oh, what'd you do to your leg?" And I started telling him my story, and he was very embarrassed because he didn't realize that it was like to that extent. I think he thought that I had like injured my leg or something.
Uh,
And he's like, "Oh my gosh, okay." And then he starts backpedaling and he's like making it worse. I was like, "It's fine."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you don't understand how many times I've answered this question in my life.
Right, right. Is it appropriate for someone, like just a stranger, to ask you what happened?
I would not mind,
Okay.
but I know a lot of people that would.
Yeah.
And the advice that I would give is it's always better to get to know someone first before asking personal questions.
Yeah.
So if it's coming from a place of love and curiosity,
Mhm.
I don't think anyone would be upset about that.
Yeah.
But for me, who's been living with this for my whole life, basically,
Mm.
I'm anesthetized to it. So it's
Yeah.
like, meh. But if it's happened more recently and maybe more traumatically,
Right.
it might be a very different
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. It's interesting. My impression of that, or my thought with that answer, has changed since I've done this podcast.
Mm.
So, okay. So let's get into some closing questions and then we can wrap up. What's one thing you hope viewers get out of listening to this episode today?
I think that one, like getting out of your comfort zone
Mm,
is always a good thing.
mhm.
And that is for disabled people or non. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Um, things happen in my life when I started saying yes.
Mm,
And when I started letting fear not like take away some of those opportunities.
yeah.
And I think that we are capable of doing more than we think.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I won't settle down or like I won't stop busying myself because I just feel like I have so much I can
Mm,
do in this world.
mhm,
And I think a lot of us get complacent or comfortable.
mm,
And I hope people are challenged after this to just say, what's my purpose here? What can I do?
yeah.
What can I do for the world?
Yeah. I love that. Where can people find you?
Probably Instagram is best.
Okay.
Kendra.Herber. Easy.
Okay.
My website,
Yeah.
kendraherber.com.
Okay. Awesome.
Simple.
Any other socials?
I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay. There you go.
I don't really do much else. I
Yeah.
am on TikTok. Couldn't even tell you my username for that. One of
Yeah.
my students set it up for me. I
I
don't do
I
this.
follow you on TikTok,
Oh,
but
there you
yeah,
go.
I can put that in the description, and
Perfect.
people can find you there. So I really appreciate the conversation. We've gone around for several months trying to solidify a time, and you're busy, I'm busy, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I really hope people get a view into the pair standing and wheelchair tennis world, and I hope maybe somebody listening knows somebody who is a pair standing or is a candidate for that, or a wheelchair, and talks to them about that.
Yeah,
So
me too.
that would be my hope. I really appreciate you coming on. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Anything else you want to ta bring up or talk about that we missed?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining the Rolling Forward podcast. If you like what you heard, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. I want to hear what keeps you rolling forward. My next t-shirt idea, or something you heard today that stuck with you. I definitely want to hear anything and everything in the comments. And if you want to see more shirts like the one I'm wearing, mine says leg day and it's a guy with a wheelchair pictured. I didn't make this. I did get it on Amazon, but you can find my shirts at rollingforward.printful.me. And if you have a story worth sharing that fits the theme of what we're doing here today, drop a comment, DM me. You might be my next guest. Until next time, keep rolling forward. Thanks, everyone.